Hello, it's Miss Tabeek, and I just want to take you through a few things that will help you start to build your own children's book in Miss Snyder's class. And once she gives you access to her own library, you will see something very similar to what you see on the screen right now. But I have put together a book right here that I want to show you guys. And this is my library. You'll be able to see once you get added. I'll just show you how that looks. If I go here and I want to add students to the library, any teacher can do this with their own library, and then you will be given an access code or an invite link. So however she wants you to get in there, that's what you will do. This one, of course, will take you to my library, which you don't need. But I did want to just show you that really quickly. And if you go back up to the top, you can get to the libraries. And even though the library is shared with you and you can see everything that's there, you can't always access everything. First, it has to be published. And when you look at these little icons, those mean published. And then these with the little people there, those mean collaborate. So if she wanted you to collaborate on a book, like two of you together, or three of you, or the whole class, she could create a book, make it, set up the collaboration, and then everyone could get in there and edit the book at different times or the same time. This one is not done yet because this is one I want to show you guys. So if I open this up, I just wanted to show you a few little things that you can do with Book Creator besides just type your story that you're telling. So you are supposed to be creating a children's book about some event in history that you have chosen. I am not going to choose an event in history and do an actual children's book. I just want to show you a few little things. I created this cover myself. You can go look for pictures and images and things like that, or you can make your own. And I just wanted to show you a couple of things. If I click here, you can see that I created that, and I actually did that. If you have a touch screen that you can do this on, it's a lot easier. But I'll just take this out and show you how I did that. So when you want to add things to a page, this of course is the cover. You go up here to this plus sign, and you can do a text box, and then whatever you want to type in, you can type in. You can, let me show you what that looks like. We're just going to call this my book real quick. You can make it bold, you can italicize it, whatever you want to do. But if you click done, that will pop up here on the left-hand side on the page. You can do whatever you want with it after that. You can move it somewhere else. And then once it's highlighted, you can go over here, and this is where you would change the font size. And then of course we can stretch it out a little bit. We can center it. We can make it bold. We can italicize it. We can change the color of it. We can change the actual font to something, I don't know, a little more interesting. And then you can even make it transparent. Usually, I do that with pictures if I want to write over top of them. And then you can move things to the front or the back. Like if I wanted to put this up here and then for some reason push it to the back. I don't know why you'd want to put words in the back, but you can do things like that. So you can overlap pictures, you can overlap words, you can write on top of pictures. This one I drew myself with my mouse, which is, it's easy enough, but it's not as easy as if you have a touch screen and you want to draw on the page yourself. In that case, you would choose the pen option, and then you get different styles. So I'm just going to use a paintbrush, and if I move my mouse out of the way, I'm using my finger right now. So I'm just going to, well, it doesn't work with a dot. There you go. So creating your book. And then once I'm finished with that, I would go over here to the right and click done. And then you can see it over top of the flower. I think it's a little too big, so I'm just gonna shrink it down a little bit. And again, I'm gonna leave it over top of the flower because why do we want to put it behind it? So, you can do whatever you want with the cover, with any of the pages as far as the design. You can also search for images online, or you can upload some that you might already have on your computer. And in a little while later in this video, I'll show you what I like to do with Canva. You can turn on the camera if you wanted to take a picture of yourself and put it in there. Again, here's the text. And then there's a place where you can actually record your own voice. You can introduce the book that way. You can make each page, you can read each page. So that way, if it is a children's book and someone wants to read it, but they would like to listen to it while they read along, you can do that. So you would just click that record, you would hit start recording, and once you're finished, it'll give you a little speaker that you can put anywhere on the page. And you can also manipulate that and make it bigger or smaller. But that's how you would do that. All right, so once you get a background, you might want to just leave them all white or whatever. I like to change the background and kind of make them all match. Let me show you this too. You can click on pages, so that way you can kind of see them all at the same time. And it updates pretty quickly. So as soon as you're finished with a page, if you go to pages, it'll pop up and you should be able to see what it all looks like together. You can also hit this play button and it will show you what it looks like to a person who's actually reading it, who does not have editing access. They just have the reading ability, so it looks like a regular book. And then you can go back over here to edit. All right, so I'm going to show you on this little section something I like to do with Canva. It's kind of my favorite thing I do with Canva. But if we go over to our Canva account, I like to just start with something simple, just a little square. Doesn't have to, it's better if you use something smaller. And what you can do on Canva is upload your own pictures. So I have uploaded this one ahead of time that I wanted to show you. And if we go ahead and make it cover the whole thing, then it won't be a whole lot of blank space. But you go up here to the background remover, and it's very easy to just get rid of the background altogether. Then what you do is you want to download this, you want to share it, and click on the download. And then before you click download though, you want to do transparent background, because even though it took the background out of the picture, it's not going to take the white space out of the picture. So you want to click on transparent and then download, and then that will be saved onto your computer so that you can then go over here back to your page, hit the plus, add image, and this is where you want to upload from your computer. And then I'll just click on that, and the backgroundless picture with no white background at all will be there. You can put it on your page wherever it needs to go, and there you go. Okay, so there's just a couple more things that I like to do with Canva. You can look for images on Book Creator, but I'm just used to Canva, I guess, so it's easier to do that sometimes. You can create your own images with Canva. This is 2 different images laid on top of each other. And one thing I've done for books is if I want more than just a solid background, if you're writing a story and you want the pages to look the same exactly or similar, or have a picture on there all the time in the same place, you can create an image and save it as an image and then lay it on the page as the background and then write over top of it or do anything else over top of it that you want to do, which is what I did here. So if we go back over here, you can see that this is a little goat that I just put on there. But this background, all I did over here under elements was search for this one, open field with trees and flowers. And then I chose the one I wanted. And then once I got that on there, I've searched for a goat that I can put anywhere on here. And just know that once you save that as that specific image, then that will be what goes on the page every time, and it'll look just like this. So if you wanted the goat to be moved to another spot for different pages, then you would have to move him on Canva and resave it. So if I come over here, I can just show you on a new page. I can add the image and upload it from my computer. And it won't exactly match, which is fine, but it's an image again, and you can just pull it out until it covers the entire page. And you can write on top of that if you want. And let's see, we have a little goat. So if you wanted to write something about the little goat or have the little goat say something, anything like that. And again, when you want to test it out, you can just hit the play button and see what that looks like. And there's the entire page that you can work with. Okay, so if you don't want to mess around with Canva, you can do a lot of similar things on here. Besides saving your own images on your computer and then putting them on the page, you can search for images, and it just depends. You can look for all kinds of shapes. You can be as specific as you want. So I'll just show you a couple. Let me see. We could make, even if you say stick figure man or whatever, you can say search and you get all kinds of different choices. So we could choose this little guy here and he'll pop up. We'll change the size. So if you have characters and you wanted them to say something specific or be thinking something, you can come over here to images again. We can put in thought bubble or let's not do thought bubble. Let's do speech bubble. You still get, I think, thought bubbles, when you put these in, but we want him to say something. So we'll add this and change that to an appropriate size. And again, you can put just about any character. You could look up animal characters, people. I'm sure you could probably look up a robot or something. And then you can put in whatever text you want him to say. It looks like he's saying, I don't know. So that's what we'll put. And that will pop up again there. And again, just like everything else or on every other page, if you highlight something, you can then go over here and make it bold, or maybe change the font style. Let's just do that. Okay, so now we have our little stick man. One thing you can also do on here, just like I have always done on Canva, is take out a background. So if you were looking for an image, maybe we were looking for a dog. How about a cartoon dog? You might have some without any backgrounds, but you might like the one with a background or without a background better. Or you might have to take one out to get it to look the way you want it to look. Let's see, what do we want to choose? We can maybe choose this one. That looks more like a fox, doesn't it? And we can go over here. Nope, not that. Forget it. Right click. You can crop it. Remove the background. Again, you can move it to the front or the back depending on what you're doing. But if we click remove background, we just have to wait a couple seconds and we get that. So it all depends on, what you want it to look like. Sometimes those will come out a little funny looking, but, it just depends. So you can do all kinds of different things on the pages. If you are wanting to draw arrows or just different shapes, like I did over here with these arrows, you just have to be specific and say what you want. Let's see. Green arrow. We could look for a green check mark, a green arrow, a green curved arrow. So we'll look for a green curved arrow, and you get all of these choices. And maybe some that you end up liking better. I kind of like this little swirly one. It's not green, but I like it. And then you can make that as big or small as you want it to be. And then you can, of course, always turn it, twist it, manipulate it until it's pointing at what you need it to be pointing to. So those are just a few things that you can do on Book Creator to make your very own book. And if we check on pages up here, we can kind of see how they go. And again, if we want to start at the cover and then play it, we can see how that would look to people who are reading the book. Let me show you one more thing that I kind of almost forgot. If you do want to record your voice reading some of the book, you can just do this, hit record, start recording. It'll do a little countdown. I don't know. Stop recording, use recording, and it'll give you this little speaker. And again, you can make it as big or small as you need to. We could maybe put it right here next to the speech bubble. So that way, if someone is reading the book, they can click on that. I don't know. So you can click the play button and it'll play. And that's that. So hopefully this is enough to get you started. I'm sure you will find more fun things to do and to make it your own and be very creative. So good luck.